Are we there? Hello, hello. Are we on? I think I hit start streaming. Did I? It is 7 o'clock um, Central Time, and on Wednesday, 10/27/21. Let's see if anybody's on. Anybody showing up yet? I think we're rolling. I'm so new at this, I don't know. Um, but I'll stay on here and talk to myself. Ah, another Virgo. Hey, how's it going? Great. Thanks for reminding me. CD Mule. Hey, Bobby. Hey, welcome everyone. Tex, Mr. Huff. Howdy, Darren. One here. Hey, thanks everybody for showing up. I appreciate it. Just thought I'd pop on tonight. I'm glad that the I'm glad that the reminder went out. I'm new at this, so I'm figuring it out as I go. But hey, Robert, hello. Hey guys. Another Virgo today asked me to talk about publishing deals. So let me just start out with that one. And basically, what a publishing deal is they pay, a publishing company will pay you by the month or twice a month or whatever, a draw. And for that money that they pay you, they get half of your publishing. There can be deals where they get all of your publishing, or it could be negotiated bunch of different ways. But they get, so if you have a hit on the radio, or you have a song on a record, or a TV or a movie, they get half of your money, and that goes towards paying back the draw that you get every month. In turn for that, they will pitch songs, hook you up with artists, try to get artists to cut your songs, try to get you placements for TV and movie stuff, hook you up with music supervisors and other producers. And so that's kind of what the deal is. That's what a publishing deal looks like. I mean, nowadays it's much harder to get just a song recorded on someone's record. I mean, if you write a great song with one of your friends and you get it pitched to an artist, a lot of times now the artist will hear it and go, oh, that sounds great, let's write one like that. So it's much harder to just get an outside song cut unless you're writing with the artist or with the producer that's producing the artist. But it can happen. And so that's basically what a publishing deal is. I've been super fortunate to have one for a long, long time. And then usually there'll be a quota, you have to write so many songs per year and things like that. And then, and so also if you write a song with two other people, that you just get a third of that song, that would only go, then you would have to, under that guide, you would have to write 3 songs to mean one on your deal. So anyway, that's what a publishing deal looks like. In Nashville, there are different kinds. If you're an artist and they give you artist deals and you get paid so much per record and stuff like that. But for an outside writer, that's what it looks like in Nashville. So hope that answered your question, Virgo. Nice to see everyone showing up. Keep song your videos. Heck yeah, Dr. Bob. Hello. Dr. Bob, what do you use to add samples to bass drum? Hi, Kevin. To add samples, to add kick drum samples to my bass drum, I do that by MIDI. If I have a MIDI track, if I have a kick drum track that is, like, say, from a live drummer, I'll go in with a detector and Cubase. it will detect every time that kick drum hits, and then it'll make a MIDI note where every one of those kick drum hits, and then I'll assign that MIDI note to Easy Drummer 3 or Easy Drummer 2 or Superior Drummer 3 or Slate or Dan Corneff drums or any one of those. And I may add two kicks, 3 kicks, but they're all by MIDI notes. I did a video about how the pros add samples. I think that's what it's called, something like that. But check that out. That's a pretty good tutorial how I do it, and I know a lot of the guys do it now. Todd Scott, hey Todd, great channel. Thanks. Der Corrado dog. Sorry, man. DJ, love your stuff, Dr. Bob. Thank you. Chris Nashville, hello. Danny, Gable, hey. Pete Cordalis, mix secret to clean separation among instruments. Yeah, Pete, I mean, I'd say there's several things that go into that. Make sure you're recording parts to your song that are in different frequency ranges that don't muddy things up. Don't have too many things in the same register, too many high things, too many chimey guitars, too many backgrounds and background vocals and string parts and synth parts in the same range, because all of those things start to muddy things up, and you listen to one thing at a time and it sounds great, but no one listens in solo mode. So that's where I would start. I mean, obviously EQ, panning things out of the way of the lead vocal, help for separation. Chorus effects on things help to set it apart from different things. But my main thing that I always try first is to try to record parts that don't step on each other, and it will make it a lot easier. Hello from Murfreesboro, DJ. Hey. Secret Higher Life Freeform Studios. Is Taxi a good service to use for those types of deals? You know what? I don't know. I've seen it advertised on the internet and magazines, and I see that people have had success from it. So I'm going to assume that's the truth. I've never run into it in my career. I've never run into anyone that's done it or anything, but that doesn't mean anything. The music business is huge, and it's all over the world. So I wish I had a better answer for you, but I don't know. That's a good question. Bob, do you have any recommendations on audio production books, YouTube channels, educational content I should be checking out? Yes, Tex. Music Surgery with Dr. Bob. Hello. Thanks for watching my channel. Thanks for being here. Rick Beato's channel is fantastic. Produce Like a Pro is fantastic. Tim Pierce's guitar channel is fantastic. Rhett Shull, his guitar channel is fantastic. Pensado's Place is fantastic. These are all YouTube channels. Not many books. I mean, I'm sure there's magazines and stuff, EQ magazine and all that, if that's still around. But lots of stuff on the internet, on YouTube. And I think, man, if you just, you could probably just search a topic in YouTube and 10 different pages will come out. But check out all those that I talked about. Those are great channels. Also, my friend Forrest Whitehead has a channel, and I think it's called Music City Playbook, so check that one out. What else we got? Der Corrado Dog. How in the heck can we go from day jobs to recording, producing in Nashville these days? Man, the way I did it is I had a day job. I was a drummer on tour with the group Blackhawk. And every day, all day long, Before sound check, I'd drag all the recording gear into the hotel room. It wasn't computers and all that. It was ADATs and a Pro mixer, what do they call it? Pro Mix mixer by Yamaha, and speakers, and I'd set it all up, and a mic, and I had an MPC 60, a drum machine sequencer, and I'd record, and sing, and record all day. We'd go to sound check, I'd do the show, we'd come back. After the show, I'd do a little more. I'd pack it all up, put it into the bus, and do it day after day after day after day. And what happens is, and I know this sounds like the same old story, but the more you do, and the more you pay, and I didn't have internet or anything to put it out then. That was just giving CDs or DAT tapes to friends and people that knew people and producers and writers and publishing companies. So it was much more difficult to get things out then. But the more you do it, the better you get, and people will want to hire you. And man, it's just true. I mean, you're probably sitting there thinking, I've heard that before or whatever, but it's true. Do it. Keep getting better. Keep rocking at what you do, and it will come. I promise. If it can happen to me, a kid from Indiana, it can happen to anyone. But thanks for the question. Kevin Diesel, thank you. How do you feel about BandLab? You know, I know a lot of people use it, and I never have. So again, I don't have the answer. I don't know. I wish I did, but I've never used it. But it certainly seems like it's in the game, and in the conversation of DAWs and things like that to use. Keenan Blair, will you eventually do a video on extreme vocal comping? I've heard crazy stories about Mutt Lange tracking and editing by each syllable word. How common is this for making a vocal performance perfect? Great question, Keenan. Yes, I will, and it's in the works. Mutt was very, very particular about vocal comps, and then what he did after vocal comps is also fascinating, and that'll be part of the video as well. It all depends on the producer and the singer and what they're going for. I've seen producers kind of listen to a whole take and go, yeah, man, that sounds great. Let's just replace this word and that one, and maybe this phrase down here, and tune it up, and it sounds great. Other producers will go word by word, will trade out a better S for a S for another S, a better T in a different word, and we'll chop everything together. I've done both ways, and what I try to avoid, I try to get pretty picky for the singer's sake, so I'm getting the best of what they've got. But what happens is you can get too involved, and it can sound like a vocal comp that's cut together instead of a vocal performance. And I think the best thing to do is comp what you think sounds great. And if you're the producer, what you think, what your singer thinks sounds great. And then listen to see if it sounds fabricated or if it sounds like sung. And I've had to go back and change some things out before because it just sounds too put together and too perfect. But it's really taste. It's really taste. But Mutt did some amazing things, and I'll get to that, I promise. Great question. The malt tones, Dr. Bob, I use a Octava MK319 Russian microphone. What's your experience with these mics? It's semi-modified. Man, I don't know. I've never used an Octava. I have what I normally use, my vocal mic selection is a SM7, which almost always wins. I have a 251, I have a 47, I have a couple Audio-Technica mics, and I have the Slate mic. 95% of the time, the SM7 wins. I love the mic. I know how to mix it. It sounds great on a lot of singers. And then I'm starting to use the 251 more as well. And the Slate mic for some things. But I'm sorry, Malt Tones, I don't know much about that mic. I probably should. I got Rick's Modal coffee mug, my favorite coffee mug. Rick Beato's, everything of Rick Beato's is my favorite. Rick's a great guy, great channel. Knows more about music than anyone I've ever met. Um, Cato, hi, how has the business been during the pandemic? The same or different? Well, I've been very lucky. As a producer and as someone who does records and does film and TV, and who also writes songs, that part of the industry seemed to keep chugging ahead. Um, Now, obviously, there weren't as many um, tours and live musicians had it bad, and live crews and everything involved in that. It's definitely looking up now, big time. But I was spared that, and I'm thankful that that part of the business, the creative side, the writing and producing and film and TV, and I'm super thankful that I was okay. And I think a lot of people that weren't okay last year, it's starting to come back. So, but it's been the whole world. It hasn't just been music. It's been all kinds of business. And man, I hope we're really coming out of this. Crazy time, but good question. Um, were you Fergo? Were you always a songwriter? No, I started out as a drummer, playing on sessions, and realized I played on a lot of songs that I didn't like, and a lot of songs that came out that I hated the production on. So, started to focus my career more on songwriting and producing, and I started writing songs, and it was a while before I wrote anything and produced it before I would let anyone hear. But that was a valuable period. Listening to other writers and listening to records and how they put things together and how they said things lyrically and song structure and all that. Why things worked, why certain songs I liked so much. And it was, I kind of got, man, I got addicted to it, and never looked back. So still enjoy playing drums. Do for a few people still. Do on some of my own stuff too, but mostly songwriting and producing now. Stephen Forays, how do you deal with miking drums or mixing drums in a mix when you want to compress but cymbals are super loud? Still waiting on a video about Blackhawk. I have a video about that, Stephen. Look for the one where Dave Grohl is on front of the video doing this. And it's the way I've been miking and cutting drums lately to avoid when cymbals are too loud. I've played in the studio a long time, so I've also learned to mix my internal dynamics with my limbs. Hi-hat, not as loud. Crash cymbals, ride cymbal, not as loud, so you can utilize the room mics more. Any great studio drummer does that. Jeff Porcaro did it. John Robinson, Mike Baird, John Bonham. John Bonham didn't hit his cymbals and hi-hat nearly as loud as you think he did. You would never get those beautiful rooms to bloom that way. So, as a producer, make sure the drummer is mindful of his dynamics with limbs, and also watch the video with Dave Grohl doing this, and I think that'll help you out. Still waiting on a video about Blackhawk. I love those guys. I talk to them all the time. I'm going to the guitar player's house Friday. He's going to play a track for me. Some of the best times in my life, and I'm forever grateful for that band. Awesome time. Favorite fish to eat? Tex. Man, salmon, scallops. I love sushi. My wife and I eat sushi all the time. Favorite cocktail to enjoy? I don't enjoy cocktails. Never liked the taste. Never liked the taste. I was either unlucky or lucky that way, but I'm not a drink guy. I love coffee. I love water with lemon, and I'm somewhat successful lately at quitting Diet Coke, even though I cheat now and then. CD Mule, do you ever think of critiquing your viewers' music and give them advice? Well, I do that. I look at my video about the Doctor's Lounge, and there's a section in there where there's a monthly thing where lots of people call and we talk about their song, we talk about their songwriting, we talk about their production, things to do to get the most out of their song and their track and their melody and all that. So that's actually part of the Doctor's Lounge. So check out the Doctor's Lounge. There's links in most of my videos in the description of the video, and also check out my store. There's great free stuff and cheap stuff, and also with the Doctor's Lounge you get great samples every month, all that. I've also got a killer drum set coming up that's going to be pay what you want. There'll be a video about it. It's super unique. It's the one I use all the time. Sometimes I add samples to it, but this is my main go-to thing, so that'll be coming up too. Robert Thompson, what brand of cigars are your favorite? Now we're talking. Cigars are my weakness. I love cigars. They relax me. I like La Gloria. I like LFD. I like Cuban Cohibas when they're not against the law. I love My Father. I love, man, there's so many good ones. I have a great cigar shop here where we live called the Smoky Cigar, and hardly a bad one in the house. Right, but the mechanics of meeting the right people, I think, is the hardest. But I like your answer. Thanks. Oh, thanks, man. That was about the, that's, Derkra Dog. Gosh, I'm terrible at this. Derkora Dog. Decora Dog. That's it is about meeting people, but the way you meet people is make great music, put it online, put it on YouTube, play it for friends, go see people live, get to know the people in the bands, make friends with them, write with them, let them hear your music. It'll all snowbook, I promise. Old school music. Hey Bob, just wanted to say thanks for the great content. My pleasure. Been starting to incorporate a few of the great trick tips from your videos. Awesome, old school. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I love it. I'm so thrilled that anyone is on here and talking and watching the videos, and that's why I make them. Why Chromosome Music, Beato book, and listening exercise 2. He introduced me to you, by the way. Oh, awesome. Rick and I are friends. He's fantastic. I'm glad that he approves of the channel. He's a great guy. He got me started, so this is all his fault. Glasshead Audio, what's the 47 you use? It's a Peluso 47, and I have a Peluso 251. They're both awesome. They both do the job. They both sound fantastic. Kevin Diesel, keep the U87 a secret. Gotcha, LOL. I have used one every now and then. Not my favorite mic. Whoop, don't know why. Tried and true. Good mic. Fantastic mic. I just never end up reaching for it. But many of you do, I'm sure, and it's great. Bob. Baumeister. Man, I'm terrible at this. Hey, Dr. Bob, your work is great. Best regards. Best regards to you, too. Thanks so much for watching and for the kindness, man. Keenan Blair. When you work on film projects, do you have to be a SAG-AFTRA affiliate? No. These are songs that are all through the music supervisors that contact publishers and reach out, and these are all either buyouts or they'll give you a certain amount of money to have the song and the song in the movie or the TV show, and then you also get BMI and ASCAP. So no, SAG and AFTRA, that maybe certain things to. I've had to be. I don't know if I don't think I've ever had to be a part of that. Even when I've played Leno and stuff like that, I think the musicians union is what takes care of that. Todd Scott. Hey, Todd. Do you ever feel overwhelmed with the never-ending learning knobs and buttons? No, I never have. I know all the knobs, I know all the buttons, and I've always known them, and I never get overwhelmed. Yeah, of course, man. Um, I used to feel overwhelmed. Now I've tried to turn that emotion into don't get anxious, don't try to get ahead of myself. Take off, bite off small chunks. Bite off small chunks of um, of learning. I'm gonna really like say I'm gonna really learn the SSL channel script, and I'm gonna really put it through its paces the next 3 days, and then I'll go to another plugin, and then I'll go to another plugin, and then maybe I'll go to Omnisphere, and really try to get to know that. So it's all baby steps, and it's all little by little, and if you do it that way, it's more fun. You don't get you don't get anxious. You look at it as, oh gosh, I'm going to get to know this, and now I know this does this and this, and in my head, this is where I can apply it. So, just change it, just like anything. What's the saying? Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. I love that. I love that. Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. And I would recommend that for anything, but especially, you know, production and songwriting, little bits at a time. Marius, how do you do drums these days? Is it all programming, or do you also record real drums? I do both. A lot of things that I do, if it's film and TV, I don't have time to do real drums. I may get something at 10 in the morning, and they say we need it by 4 this afternoon. Those things that are much harder. And I don't have a drum set at my house. I have 2 drum sets in studios around town, and I go to those studios and I play the drums there, and I take the files home, and I just leave my drums there, so they're not in storage, and they can use my drums, but I get to record anytime I go there. So for those type of situations, it's mostly programming. Sometimes it's programming drums that try to sound real, like Superior Drummer 3, stuff like that. Many times it's 808, 909, sound and programming stuff. But when I do records, I'll often go in and play live drums, and then most of the time add samples on top of those. And really, to be honest anymore, and I know this sounds sacrilegious, and I'm a drummer and I love drums, but in the end, with dense mixes and all that, someone could tell me there's a live drummer with samples on top, or someone could just tell me it's Superior Drummer 3, and if it's a good drum programmer, I can't tell. It's come so far. So, good question, either or, but that's kind of my life. Wore my Dr. Bob shirt while wearing sunglasses and a mask on my face. Ooh, that's scary. Why Chromosome Music? Thanks, man. Jaron Sorensen. A good friend, a great drummer, a great producer. What is the best thing in the world, and why is it Jeff Porcaro's groove? It just is, man. You know that. We all know that. I am part of the Jeff Porcaro Lifetime fan club, which there's really not one, but he was my idol as a kid. He's my favorite drummer. I got to know him. He was the coolest guy. He's the greatest drummer. He's got the greatest groove. And his playing and his feel make me happy. And when we're riding down the road, my wife and I are riding down the road, and Africa comes on the radio. Before the chorus, I turn up the radio and I make my wife play the triplet feel, boom, 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 air drum. So Jeff forever lives in my heart and in my groove and in my music, and I love the friendship that we had, and I love his music, and I love his groove and everything about it. So of course you know that's the answer, Jaron. Favorite Finnish metal band, Jan? I don't know. Maybe you should put some on here for us to go check out, because I don't know. Fiddle Folk, I love this channel. The information you were sharing was always practical and very useful. Thank you for that. Thank you for watching, Fiddle Folk. I do my best to try to introduce new things that maybe I haven't found out a lot of info out there about, and even the things that are, maybe try to put a different spin on it. So if that's speaking to you and talking to your music, man, I appreciate that. Mike, why do the early Beatles records sound so good for only using 4 tracks? Man, we've all tried to figure that out. Man, this is probably a lame answer. I mean, there was obviously the studio, the engineering, the mics, everything they had at the time. I think it was Jeff Emmerich on the early stuff. I know it was later, but, and you know, great producer. So I'm sure they had the best equipment available. But something about when you write and sing a song that great, it tends to even sound better. You can listen to a lot of records from that time period that the songs and the singing and the playing aren't as good, and for some reason it doesn't sound as good. Wonder why. But I don't know. I'm sure they had the best equipment available at the time, and they certainly had the best songs and the best singers. My favorite band of all time. 8 Minute Axe, love the haircut. Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks, Mark. I got the toupee on tonight. I put like $8 of gel in this for you guys, so toss me some money or something. Virgo, just wanted to share that Mutt's longtime engineer Mike Shipley did a great interview on Posado's Place if anyone is interested. He shared a lot of Mutt's techniques. Yes, he did. I didn't know Mike. I never got to meet Mike, but have been super friends for years with one of his assistants. So learned a lot about what they did. He loved Mike. Sadly, Mike's no longer with us, but Mike was part of an incredible amount of records, and I love everything he did. What else we got here? Diamond McMahon, great channel. Do some more multi-track breakdowns of classic tracks. Okay, I'll do it. It's on the list. I've got a bunch in the queue. So, CD Mule, can you recommend any publishers that are honest, or does no such animal exist? Man, I've never worked with a dishonest publisher. I mean, they're all in the business trying to get cuts, man, trying to get songs on records, trying to, I mean, it's not the publishers are dishonest. It's just a tough business. I mean, I've had a few things happen where after the song, somebody's called and said, hey, the writer wants a piece of this, or the artist wants a piece of this, or the producer wants a piece of this, or whatever. But that's never been the publishing company. Any reputable publisher in Nashville or New York or LA that I've ever worked with, I've never had any dishonesty problems, to be honest. And I'm not being political. If I did, I'd tell you. Jan Patrick, Nightwish is from Finland and Holland. All right, I'll check out Nightwish. Hi, babe. I think that may be my wife. So, hey, babe, thanks for watching. I'll check you out later. Like your channel, do you do online drum tracks? So how much do you charge? That's from Jack's Flay Guitar. Jack's Flay. Man, I'm terrible at this. Go to my email address, drbobmusicsurgery@gmail.com. dr.musicsurgery@gmail.com. drbobmusicsurgery@gmail.com. Hit me an email there and we'll figure it out. 8 Minute Axe, the Beatles question, 15,000 hours in Hamburg helped a lot? Absolutely. Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better. Jan Patrick, John Bonham is the greatest. Yeah, sure. You're not going to get any argument with me there. Uh, John Bonham is fantastic. His feel, his power, the way he tuned his drums, his arrangements, the way he played, all of it. Dave Marshall, Hendersonville Rules. Thanks for your contribution. Thanks, Dave. Been in Hendersonville a long time. Love it here. Graham Johnston. Hey, how do you think Mutt pushes the drums back in the mix, like on the Dark Horse album? Graham, I don't know. It's an interesting album because even though Mutt produced it, there's lots of different mixers. I think Chris Lord Alge is on there. Mike Shipley's on there. Oh man, the guy that mixed Something in Your Mouth. Randy Staub. The song Something in Your Mouth might be the most massive drum sound I've ever heard. Kind of, to me, a modern day twist on Hysteria. Massive drums. The Chris Lord Alge drum sound is different. Graham, yeah, Randy Staub, exactly. And the Mike Shipley drum sound is different, although they all sound pretty much similar in their the samples they used. So I'm not quite sure. I think there's a lot of each mixer had their own way of taking these samples in each song, depending on the tempo, depending on the key of the song, depending on the arrangement of the song. So I don't know how to answer that because they all kind of had their own take, but all of the mixers, it kind of wove together to work. But as much as I mean, I absolutely love Chris Lord Alge, I love Mike Shipley, but if you want to hear drums that just, and guitars with low end like you've never heard, listen to the song Something in Your Mouth. I can't explain it. It's unbelievable. Why Crumbs? What is Bruford's best work? What band do you think? Is that Bill Bruford? I never listened to a ton of Bill Bruford. He's fantastic. Probably King Crimson is where I'm most familiar with Bill Bruford stuff. And I don't think he's in it anymore. There's another drummer, and then Pat Mastelletto from Mr. Mister is also in that band now. But Bill Bruford's fantastic. Never somebody I listen to a ton, but he's obviously amazing. Tips to produce a song, Dr. Bob, Gilbert, Norham. Man, there's all kinds of tips to produce a song, and I hope that I'm covering a lot of them on the channel. Man, watch the videos. There should be a lot of different angles and what to do. On top of that, I would say find a great singer and find a great song. And that will take care of at least half of your worries, half of your problems. And then the rest, man, is arrangement and musicians. And I don't know. That's it. Try that. Darren Andrews, thanks for what you have done for the knowledge base in engineering and production. Man, Darren, it is my pleasure. And thanks for watching tonight. I'm going to jump off, guys. I've got a bunch of stuff I have to do tonight still. As you can see, I have a mix up here, but I wanted to get on Wednesday night and say hello and thank you to everybody for watching. Thank you for all the comments. Keep them coming. Comments or suggestions or whatever. I appreciate everyone for watching. Go out, hit the Doctor's Lounge, and check out my store for free and cheap stuff. I got a great drum set coming up. There's going to be a video about it. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait to do that. Lots of cool, some more Mutt stuff coming up, some more breakdowns of multi-tracks. Um, some really good tips if you're stuck. A lot of great stuff coming up. So thanks to everybody for watching. Have a great rest of the Wednesday night, and I'll see you either tomorrow or the next day with a new video. Thanks. Talk to you later. Bye. Oh, wait. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other, and I'll see you the next time. The Doctor.